Are we live? Oh shit, we are. Yeah, I know.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands.
Yes, they can.
Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Was chasing the bear, the tickle the lips, play ball.
I like this song. It's catchy.
Play
It's catchy.
ball.
I should have sang it. It's a catchy.
Roll with the bases and smack it right over the wall.
It's got a very sultry
Play
voice.
ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
And Benny TV
Benny
still on in the
TV.
background there. We got Benny TV for the last show. That's all right.
Holy
We love Benny.
shit,
That's
what
all
the
right,
hell
don't
is
worry,
going on
don't
here?
worry.
Laughter Saves Lives live.
I think it's a conspiracy because Benny's son is working out there with Bobby. There's a conspiracy here.
Here on Facebook Live and Strong Island TV, I am your host, Johnny La Rocchia. Today, my co-host is, the co-host sometimes the tears, it's there. It's Pat Marone, Big
Pat
Red
Marone.
here. Big Red, we're going to call him tonight, with the big red shirt
Big
on.
Red, yeah.
Working the third wheel tonight is my brother, Steve Oliva,
FDNY.
FDNY.
Brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
Good to
Because
be
you
here
guys look
again.
nothing alike. So
yes.
We look a little alike.
And off camera tonight, because he didn't do his hair, John Santos here.
Hello, folks. I'm not
John.
important and I have a face for radio.
You
so-
don't
Yes.
see him, but he is regaled in his Met
He's getting
don't have-
attire.
he's
You
getting
don't
ready
have
do
to
another-
see him to know he's regaled in his Met attire.
That's true.
He
getting ready to
sleeps
do another
in his Met
airline
attire.
bid for us,
But
maybe
I'll be
to do-
putting it away very soon because the season is over.
Stop,
That's true.
stop. Bob, 8:05, somebody's calling in from the Baldwin Fire Department about the show, about 8:05. This is how professional we are. We do this stuff
Hey, we
on
got
air.
our sign back up.
So let's talk, Laughter Saves Lives. Let's talk a little bit until this caller comes in. I'm going to hold off on the Michael Dolan special about our week. I'll start off about my week, then I'll take up most of the time, and then we won't, no time left for you to talk about your week as always.
Fine with me.
Can I just say something
I
real
have nothing to
quick
say.
for the
Is
audience?
Is there anything that you want to bring up about your week, Patty? We've
I
been
could
off
care
for 2
less.
weeks.
I
Don't
could
say
care less.
anything that, come on. Go on, anything.
Nothing. Or, you know, it's.
You did some shows. Any benefits you
I
did?
did.
Any
I did a nice show at
at the Loft?
At the Loft, yes.
Comedy Inc.
Comedy
is
Inc.
doing shows at the Loft now.
Yeah.
Frank McRae and
Frank Macri and
Frank Macri,
Johnny
sorry.
Piazza. They run a terrific show.
And the loft is where?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Belmore.
Paulie Bond headlined it. He tore the roof off the place.
Of course he did.
If Paulie Bond's on the show's going to be good.
Yeah. Of
course.
No matter what Pat does up front, Paulie will save
Paulie
that show.
Bond
right.
tore the roof off, and Pat tore the toilet seat off about 20 minutes later.
Can I just tell the audience
He
something
ate the
real
chicken
quick?
fingers.
Yeah, John, go ahead, John.
In case you're wondering
Sorry.
why John is able to type and not have a device in front of him, that's me. I'm John LaRocchia tonight.
You are?
Online. Well, have you
You're John LaRocchia.
iPad?
Oh, okay. Good.
John
That,
LaRocchia.
I just want the
Good
audience
point.
to understand that it's not coming from
You're
you.
much funnier than the real John LaRocchia.
Thank
Who
you.
isn't? So last week I was teaching in Hamilton, New Jersey, with the
beautiful.
brothers down there, and we had a lot of New Jersey State Transit Police in the class.
Awesome.
New Jersey, you are lucky to have these brothers.
Real
These
men.
guys are heroes. They're men. They
And women.
No, we did a class. We had a lot of fun, but yet these guys are dedicated. They actually listened to me and the other instructors, as opposed to when I'm home and when I'm here. Listen to my knowledge. I spewed out knowledge, all I had. Great people. Oh, and the Hamilton Fire Department was there also.
Did they have to pay to
And you
get
had
in there?
Tony F-bombs with
That's
you.
why
didn't
they
you?
Tony F.
My God, Tony F. Bombs was there, and you didn't invite me.
He was hysterical.
I heard it was an effing great show.
No shit, he was
Tony's
hysterical.
great.
Now, so you were with cops and firemen.
It was a mix.
They don't get along, don't they?
Well, we get along just fine.
Bullshit. That's
Anyway,
not a thing.
They're all type A personalities.
Hamilton Fire Department wants us to bring a show down there. We're talking to them about that. They're probably watching tonight. I
I'm
told them to
available.
watch. So that's good.
You're not working the Rick Morgan show?
Barnegat, American Legion.
That's all the way down there, Bonnie.
Barnegat,
Barnegat.
nice,
Last year we had Pat Marone on the show.
Yes.
There was people asking for. Well, there was two people. Well, one person. My sister-in-law said, "Oh man, I cooked last year and Pat ate half the food. He loved it." I go, "He went on stage too." I said to my sister-in-law. She said, "He did." But no, seriously, they asked for Pat. We had a great show. Let me tell you. First of all, I'm very excited. Fat Jay, first time on a Laugh to Saves Lives show.
Yes.
Fat Jay Christopher. I put Rich Walker. Rich Walker did a guest spot. Came down and did a guest spot. I put Rich up before him. You think I put the new guy up first? Rich got the room going, and Jay. I almost feel like he said, I gotta rise to the occasion. It was really cool watching him. Did a great job. Eric Half is great, and then Leon Lord, so smart.
Yeah, I love her. She's
so
great.
witty.
She's great.
And you know
What
what's
the
really
hell
cool?
kind of show did you put together? It's all stars.
You know. Well, I was on the show too.
Except for
so,
John.
All right, so
So
except
it
for you, there
balanced
was
out.
a solid lineup.
balanced out.
And Rich Walker.
Yeah, all star. It was cool. In fact, the name of the show was. The name of the show was the Laughter Saves Lives All Star.
He
And John
only puts
LaRocchia.
up all stars.
John
Yeah, we got the call. That's probably Baldwin.
all 8 comics.
All right, so let's see. Let's
Should
see
we-
if this is our caller. Hey, Laughter Saves Lives live.
hey, John,
You're on
how
the
you
air.
You're on the air.
Hello, brother.
Is he there?
Brian?
Yes, hello.
There he is.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good, good. How's it going?
Thank you for calling in tonight.
Not a problem.
We are doing a benefit show next Saturday at the Baldwin Fire Department. We do the Baldwin Fire Department every year. Great crowd. Pat's been on the show. John's been on the show. Steve's been on the show. I hope, right?
believe, yeah.
We have good crowds. But we're being asked to do a special show on next Saturday for one of the firefighters who's hurting a bit. Brian, tell us a little bit about the show and who we're doing it for.
I'm sorry, you broke up.
Tell us a little bit about the show and who we're doing it for next Saturday.
Okay, so next Saturday on the 16th, the show was for firefighter Mike Dolan, who's in his, I believe he's
Do
28
you have the flyer?
years old, and he was diagnosed. He thought he had pneumonia, and turned out he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, which recently metastasized to his spine, where he had to go in for radiation and chemo, and now he's pretty much in a wheelchair. He's on steroids. He's on some exploratory medication right now to try to slow down the progress of the cancer.
Uh-huh.
From what he told me, there's no curing it. It's just they're trying to slow down the progression. at
He's
this point.
28, you said?
His father, he still lives at home with his parents,
Right.
and his father recently lost his job. So, you know, they're kind of strapped right now.
Right.
You know, right now it's a single income from his mom, Bobby Dolan, and he does have a sister, but she just graduated from college.
Yeah. Well, we're you know, this is like our bread and butter show, the type of show that we I don't want to say love to do, but this is why we're here. I think Laughter Saves Lives is to do events like this and work with organizations like yours to help somebody like this. I know we met him at the Baldwin Firehouse show, the regular show. My son met him.
Yes.
And he was the one that brought it up to me. So we are honored to be asked to come down there. In fact, we added, I don't know if you see our flyer, when you get off and you look on Facebook, I don't think you can see it right now. It's up there. We added our Laughter Saves Lives team. John is not available, Santo. We have Jeffrey Paul. And let me tell you something, the headliner that night, Maureen Langan, you guys are going to love her. She has a one-woman show called The Daughter of a Garbage Man, I think it's called.
Okay.
Very, very funny Irish girl. A true headliner. So we're bringing you the A game, and we're honored to help, and I appreciate you having us.
I appreciate your help very much, very much. Now, I just wanted to ask you. So
Yes.
this is our plan was to have the doors open at 6. We're gonna have a meal, and then what do you think? Showtime at 6:30, 7 o'clock. What do you think is best?
Well, we'll talk about that off the air. But what time are you opening up the doors?
6.
6 o'clock.
All right. So if you're opening up the doors at 6, we'll start no later than 7:30. You'll let the people mill
Okay.
in. Some of them will be late. They'll chat. Comics will be there by. I'll make sure they're there by 7.
Okay.
All right, Brian. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you,
No
Brian.
problem. Thank you.
And
All right, we'll see you next
post
week.
the flyer in the comments after the show.
Yeah, we're glad to
so
help,
the
brother.
people could
All
see
right.
the flyer.
Yeah. I have to change the flyer because we don't have his contact number on it yet. I just made it up fast today.
So then we'll have a flyer soon.
Yeah, the flyer's there. We're just
Okay.
gonna add his contact number. I put Pat's picture up there.
Why
already.
don't you give the contact
Steve's.
number now while we're here? On the air?
Because it's Brian's phone number and
Oh.
email, and I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
So
Brian, can he say it?
Brian, you still there?
Yes, 516-978-8945.
One more time.
516-978-8945.
You know, I know
And
it
then-
says it at the flyer. How much are the tickets, and are they getting dinner, Brian?
Say again?
Are they getting dinner, and how much are the tickets?
$30 for the tickets, and they're getting the meal.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Can't beat that
Can't
for
beat
a
that.
good cause. Thanks,
Brian,
Brian.
wait, one more thing.
What, one more?
If Brian could type his contact information into the comments on the show, then everybody will have it there as well.
Yeah, you could do that too. And the flyer will be on the.
And then we'll have an updated flyer soon.
on
But in
the website
meantime,
tomorrow.
Call for tickets now.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
know,
you, Brian.
And that's the shows that we love to do. Not that this poor guy's so sick. Not that I mean that, but
We're happy to do them to help people.
yeah. But the audiences, just like Barnegat, New Jersey this week, Pat did the show. I find that most of these Firehouse shows, they're ready to laugh.
Oh, totally.
You have to be funny, but they're ready to laugh. I find that the comedy club shows a lot of times make me laugh. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a little tougher audience because they're not there for a charity, for a cause. you
Without
know.
question. It's
You
much
agree with
more.
me?
Well, yeah. Those types of shows, it's a very central-minded kind of show. People
Yeah.
are there. They know why they're there. Essentially, comedy clubs could be,
I've
50
been
people
doing the
with
clubs
different
a
agendas.
lot lately, and I've been killing.
Nice.
So
I believe that.
Nothing like tooting your own horn.
Nothing like tooting your own horn.
If you
John's
don't
been
self-promote,
killing.
you'll never get promoted.
You know,
I've been tearing up the club scene.
I worked a comedy club a few weeks ago, and their ducks were really dirty. Yeah. Transition into our new sponsor, MCN Duck Cleaning. Come on.
I just met him. I'm taking a Claritin already. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it was
Trying to get our ducks in a row over here.
Very
Oh,
inappropriate.
man.
Very inappropriate for you to ask
that
him to
was
clean
painful.
your ducks. Very inappropriate.
Listen to me. You got to clean your ducks. You
Hey,
know why
Matty.
you're sneezing? Because your ducks are dirty, pal.
Now, we just like we do all the time here, we come unprepared. So we didn't prepare the official commercial yet for MCN Duck. But let me read some of the things they do. They clean ducks.
Whoa! Really? What kind of ducks?
They also maintain ducts, removal contaminants for better air quality in the homes. They're a major advocate of making customers aware of the importance of maintaining a clean, dry event. I had a problem a few weeks ago, by the way. This is good for
You
our
had a
audience.
problem a long
Matt, just
time
show your
ago.
face. Just show your face. Just come around. He doesn't want to get on
camera's
the
right
camera.
here.
Part here.
It's right
You come a little right down there.
Are your
Yes,
ducks?
Matt.
Are your ducks dirty? That's your guy right there.
Right there. You want that guy sticking his head in your window.
Let me tell you,
Hey,
if he cleans your ducks, you'll have many happy returns.
could you imagine?
You can also
Matt,
see him at your
Matt,
local bar in the
all right.
neighborhood.
Matt knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That went over a lot of people's heads, not ours.
Matt shows up at people's houses.
Thank you.
Just shows up, knocks on the door, sticks his head in the window like that, and says, "Hey, can I clean your duck?" But yeah, good work. Air ducts, furnaces.
Wait, you were
indoor air-
talking about
dry
the dry
events. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Flume dampers, flue dampers. Did I say flume?
Flume.
What are flumes? They have ducts. Flue damp. He does a lot of good work. Central vac systems. We're happy to have him. Chimney caps. So this is the second time it happened. And it takes a while, and I always forget. But if your dryer stops working, it may be because the air duct is blocked. And then in my house, you got the little one, so I don't really.
Are you talking about
it's a
the
little
We have
lint
a fire
thing?
in there.
That starts fires, is right.
That's
Yeah,
it. And
the
you're a fire-
birds
and you're
build a
fire.
nest in them. The little birds built a nest.
At that where it terminates outside, you mean? Right?
Yeah.
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 They're fire. There's a lot of fire.
Yeah, they like it because it's warm.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
we're not talking about the lint thing.
the lint thing is the duct
the
for
lint thing.
dryer.
Yeah. Not the
You
lint.
don't check your lint thing after each dry?
That's a lint filter.
No, you
but,
put the
but
lint
it,
filter.
But
The
it,
filter.
It goes through the. It
oh,
goes out.
through that and then outside,
And then
right.
out.
All right, folks, we all became duck specialists now. We're not only.
If you have a problem, you do chimneys too, right? Commercial. Call Matt. This is one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet.
Do you want to do a commercial, Matt? We
We wanna do a commercial
we
for
do
you.
a live commercial.
We'll do a commercial.
Yeah, we want to do it. No, we want to do a video live commercial.
Yeah, you could come over to clean his duck. That's how he'll get you over to clean the duck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We'll
he's
be
going to want you to his
responding-
house. That'll
could-
be the set for the
We
commercial.
could be responding to a call at Recover the Laughter. right? They'll be doing a show. See how we bring our guests in already?
Yeah.
We're coming to
yeah,
laughter.
yeah.
Oh, the
You're such a
transition
terrific
was
host,
beautiful.
John. You really are.
Kara's house we'll respond to. We'll have the commercial. We'll pull up. Kara will be cooking. She'll be making something. We'll go, hey, what's wrong? You know, oh, my ducks are clogged. Wow, let's call Matt.
Listen.
What do you think, Kara? You think it'll work, Kara? Love it, right?
Air
Love Kara.
quality. Air quality in your house, very important. Especially if you have allergies, sinus issues. Mold is an issue, can be, right? So air quality. And
Very
that's-
good.
You
no,
do
it's
mold
good.
removal and everything in the ducks and everything?
So MCM Duck Cleaning, our new sponsor here on Laughter Saves
A
Lives
gold
Live.
sponsor,
Listen,
right? 250,000 or above.
Matt, when Pat
He's the major sponsor.
Pat gets
Major.
stuck in the chimney when he plays Santa
Yeah.
for the kids, can you get him out of there?
So we have
Do it?
two cleaning things. One cleans out your choking throat, and the other one cleans out your air ducts.
Your choking throat, yes.
Right, everything. So we
Yes.
have Life Hack.
You should do the
and
Life
duct.
Hack commercial.
Seriously.
Do you want to clean out your
You
choking
want to clean
throat?
out your choking throat?
Use Life
You need the Life Hack.
actually do
And
the
if you have air quality issues, you need the.
throat. What?
I had a
is like
class
cleaning
on the
something
Heimlich maneuver.
I saw that.
That was funny.
And the guy from Likevac shared it on his page.
Yeah, that was funny.
Wait, what happened? Say it again.
He had a class and.
We had a first aid class I have to take every 2 years.
Oh, I saw that when you were choking. I left my
Yeah, yeah,
I think he would have had the Life Hack.
So Lifehack guy, Audie spotted it and he shared it on his page.
That's awesome.
Hey, listen,
Last
as a
week.
as a firefighter, right?
Yeah,
You
go
as
ahead.
Well. With Matt, in reference to what Matt does, I can't tell you how many in my illustrious 23 years as a New York City firefighter. I went to a ton of dryer fires, which can extend into the rest of the house.
Sure.
Not to be.
Oh, they're dangerous.
Not to
No,
be, what's the word?
alert them. No,
You know,
over
thinking
melodramatic.
catastrophically,
Yeah.
but
Because people don't realize the fires and they're starting.
it gets hot up. It collects.
Yep.
And then
Especially if the
the
dryer's
embers
on
go
high
up
heat.
and it could travel into the voids. So
Yeah.
clean those. And
MCM
Matt's
Duck
your-
Cleaning.
Matt's your man.
when
Last
did-
week we had an audition show at the Belmore Bean.
How did that go?
Well,
a lot
Fat
of
Jen
fun.
Christopher was our first one for the show that I already used. in
He's
the
very
show.
funny. I saw him at.
There was, I would say there's 5 people I'm going to use on future shows. Pat
out of
was
how
there,
out of how many?
13, 12.
Yeah, there was a
There
lot
was
of
more
people.
than that. I thought. Yeah,
No.
13. All right.
You're
No,
drafting.
that's
You're drafting
a
better
lot
than
of
the
good
men's.
performances. They did well.
It was a good
Hot
night.
mic, hot mic.
But I was very honored.
One of my favorites out of the kids is Christian Hahn. I think he's.
He was a good
Did you
kid.
pick him? Did you pick him?
These
in
kids
your-
an up
kid.
and comer.
He's a good
I don't like any of these kids.
Kids and
'cause
up
they're
and
going to
coming.
cost me stage time.
Ah, they're good. They're fun kids.
Next week there was no impressionists. No impressionists.
Thank God.
Next week, Laughter Saves Lives is being honored at the FDNY Fired Up for a Cure picnic at Fort Totten for the money we raised at the show in the city for the organizations that Fired Up for a Cure supports that are taking care of our brothers and sisters with 9/11 related cancer. I am so honored to be asked to come down because you know what it's like. All the shows we do, we go to Jersey, we've been to Florida, we're doing all these shows.
Never been to Wyoming.
To be honored by the FDNY is an honor. So I'm excited about it. The same day we're going to the picnic, Mike Keegan, Warren Langan is representing Laughter Saves Lives at the Baltimore Hazmat Conference. So, yep. So it's going to be a good day for Laughter Saves
Baltimore
Lives.
hazmat count.
The Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Is
The
that the
entire
same
city is
Baltimore?
hazmat.
That sounds very important.
Is that the same Baltimore that's drubbing the Mets right now? I believe.
Yeah, let's check
What's
the
the
score.
score?
I don't know. It was 2-0.
Yeah,
We're
it's
live.
a-
Probably 10-0 now.
All right.
Stinks.
Santos going to give you a live score any second. So that's where we are right
Awesome.
now.
Excellent.
Steve's going to give us a quick report before we do our commercial and bring on.
Yeah, we usually do this at the end, but we're gonna put it in the middle and
How long do you
Spice
think it
things
is? You want to do it now?
as
or
long
you
as
wanna
we
do it at the
want.
end?
You know, it doesn't have to be
how
long.
about
It could
we
be
do
30
this?
seconds.
How about we do this? Let's bring Kara and Rob out.
Yes.
Okay? And then they might be able to have some fun with this also because
Right.
they have the comedy with
Right.
maybe that.
So prepared, John.
Because, listen,
We need more.
we got some comedy
very
with here,
prepared
but
host.
we
He's
don't
amazing.
have Frank here or John on set tonight. It's you and I and
It's like on
We
the
need
job.
a
you know
fresh-
who?
I'm-
Who else we got?
fresh
like
set
on
of
the job
eyes.
Yeah, he's not
training.
even listening to me.
I'm fine over here. I heard that.
Bobby, can you do me a favor and please show the Life Back commercial and Kara and Rob will come on. We'll scoot over
was making
and we'll
fun of
get
me.
started with Recover
Do you
the
want?
Laughter.
You don't want the Met score?
We'll do it when we
When
come
someone
back.
is choking, brain damage can occur after just 4 minutes. Did you know every 5 days a child dies because of a choking accident?
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. LifeVac is an easy-to-use suction device with a special one-way valve to help save a choking victim.
I care for my dad, who's prone to choking. Having LifeVac in my home gives me peace of mind.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy.
Call 1-877-LifeVac or visit lifevac.net.
Live!
Avert your eyes.
Live! Let's get Rob, let's get Pat in there.
Avert your eyes at this disaster.
We're back with the
It's the View Meets musical chairs.
Cara Amori. Rob, I apologize. I always screw up your last name. Cividatis. I apologize. From Recover the Laughter. We've been trying to get you on the show for a while, on and off, and we're really excited to have you guys here. Because of the work that you do, and there's a lot of similarities between what we try to do with Laughter Saves Lives. Tell us your background and how you got started in the entertainment. Do the entertainment first. How did you get involved with entertainment?
Well, for the entertainment, I got into acting way back in the 90s, and I did that for quite a while. I did all the black box theaters in the city. Did sketch comedy for a while with a friend of mine. We had a two-man show that we did around theaters in the city, and I eventually realized stand-up comedy, I only have to depend on me to show up, me to write it, me, pay me. It was all me.
Right.
So it was much better, you know what I mean, that way. And Cara and I met doing a rehab show out here on Long Island. We didn't really know each other.
Right. So somebody else booked the show and knew you both were involved?
And we were on it.
Okay.
And she listened to my act, and I'll do this in a PG version. She listened to my act, and I talk about in my act how when I used to do cocaine, certain things wouldn't go up the way they were supposed to.
Right.
So after my act, she goes, "You mean we could have got high together and you wouldn't even want to me? I love you." And that's how we first met. And we started to do rehabs with the guy who booked us on that show, and then it evolved into what we're doing now, Recover the Laughter.
And how did you get involved with comedy, Cara?
So I was in my own business, and you had to do like Toastmasters and things like that.
Right,
so I learn how to talk in front of. Not that I had difficulty talking in front of an audience.
But you wanted to be funnier.
And I had a mentor in my business, and he was really, really, really great. He was always funny, and he was always really great, gracious. And he got really sick, and I know that's not really funny, but and everybody loved him, and he ended up dying. And but at his wake, everybody talked about how he had like no regrets. He would just do everything to the umpteenth degree.
Right.
And I always thought to myself, you know what? I would really have regrets not doing stand-up comedy, because I was always the funny girl at the bar. I was always the funny girl at the party. I always made people laugh, and I thought to myself, you know what? I would really regret not doing stand-up comedy. And I took a class, and I thought, but I was just doing it for him. I was just doing it for David as like this swan song as my like tribute to him, because I loved him so much. And I took the class, and you know how you have to do the graduation, and I had like 6 or 7 people in my graduation.
What class did you take?
I took it at Governors with Truson.
With Truson,
With John Truson.
Okay.
And I had like 6 or 7 people in my graduating class who were all funny. And so you have to invite like all your friends and family. I had 80 people there just for me.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm a really popular gal.
Sounds it.
What year was that? What year was that?
2004.
I saw the both of you guys perform before I took up comedy. And him at the same time. It's funny, you guys are in the same room. You guys performed with Vic DiBitetto at Palmer's.
Palmer's, yes.
And you guys were very funny. And I wasn't in comedy at the time, and I sat back. I went to see Vic. I was talking to Vic, and we were watching you on stage, and you guys were great.
inspired him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
I'm sorry.
You guys were
Exactly.
great. It was a fun show, yeah.
I apologize we inspired you to get into comedy.
Did you take?
No, that didn't expire.
Patty, did you take a class?
I took Truson's class too.
You should take it over
I took
again.
his class twice, and I took Peter Bale's class.
Take another one.
Take it
I
again.
took it for stage time.
That's an up and
Well,
comer.
that's the big thing too. And I really thought I was never going to do stand-up comedy again, and then I.
You got the bug.
I got the bug, and but I thought to myself, if I do stand-up comedy, I'm going to do something with it in recovery, because I was already in recovery for a very long time at that point. I mean, I'm 27
So when I met
years
you,
clean.
you were only doing comedy for like a year or two.
Yes.
I met you in the mid-2000s.
Yes. Yep.
Well,
but I seemed like I was doing much
Long
longer.
time. I'm like, wow, who the hell is this?
Well,
and she was much better than
what
you.
I was,
She was fantastic.
You knew him when he was doing his Pauly Shore imitations.
I I'll never forget. We
He's
met at the
upgraded.
brokerage. You were at the
He's
bar,
upgraded. He's
and I said, "Oh,
upgraded.
hi, I'm on the show." And you're like,
He's
"Who the
upgraded.
F are you?" And I'm like, "Great, she's
He's
nice."
upgraded, baby.
But
Well,
then you
when I
put me
was-
on the show at
What you're
Ray's.
saying is he upgraded.
That was awesome.
When I saw
Yes.
when I saw Recover the
punching that.
Laughter, when I was doing a little reading on you guys, I was thinking of how people come up to you, have come up to me and said, well, how can you get from a place that's so miserable, that's so tough, that's so sad, and decide that you're going to not only make people laugh, but get up on a stage and do that when you're going through a tough time. And I'm sure there have been times, I know for me, when I dragged myself to a comedy club, and that was something different. That was after 9/11. That was from depression at times, but dragged myself to a comedy club, not knowing how I was going to get on that stage and make people laugh. Get on the stage, the light goes on, you do it, and then you come back to a tough place. Did you guys have that? See, now I can't relate to addiction. I mean, maybe I was addicted to food and stuff, but did you guys come from a place where when you were in the middle of this, or you had a fallback where you were doing comedy? But
we were both clean and sober for quite a while before we really got into comedy.
Right.
And you stayed clean and sober?
Yes,
since
25
then?
years and
27 years.
27.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
years between
That's
us. So,
awesome.
you know, thanks.
Okay.
I want to thank management for offering drugs, but we don't do them anymore. So what we wanted to do was we think that it's great for people to go into rehabs and detoxes to do comedy because it's healthy, gets your adrenaline going, but we really wanted it to be, let's talk about what all of us in this room know about. We all know how many times we should have been dead out there and the ugliness of it, and lift that off our shoulders for about an hour, and it's been very successful for us. We really enjoy doing that.
And I'm sure for some of the people in the U.S., because if I went in, I can't talk about that. I can't relate to that.
Right.
You know, I go to fireman shows and I talk about fireman material. Oh, everybody loves that because they can relate to it.
relate to that,
Well, I couldn't do what you guys do in front of that audience, so they're lucky to have you to be able to do that. Can you tell us about any particular cases where somebody came up to you or contacted you after a show on a message or whatever and said, hey, you did this for me, or thanks, or whatever? I'm sure you have some stories, no?
Well, we've both run into people that we've performed for out there in the recovery world who have told us, I saw you at whatever venue, whatever rehab they saw us at or a convention, and that it made a big difference. A couple of times people have told us that morning they were ready to get up and leave the rehab they were in until they sat and see what we do. The business of recovery, the business part of it, the people who run rehabs and detoxes, they don't even really know what this is unless they sit in the room when we're doing it. Then they see that there's a therapeutic value to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's a 50 people rooming together, getting off drugs and alcohol, and we're like, hey. So we've worked a long time to get good at doing that and getting out of them.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all can relate as comics what it feels like after a show when somebody comes up to you and says, you know what, my husband died last year, haven't been out, first night out, oh my God, it feels good to laugh. And the power that laughter has, and the gift, hey, listen, I'm just talking about myself. I'm not Mr. Headliner, I'm not Mr. Big Shot, but when you make somebody laugh like that who really needs to laugh, it's an awesome feeling.
It is.
It's
If
an
we,
awesome
if we have
feeling.
time after the show at the rehabs, we'll stay around and we'll fix their ducts.
MCN duct cleaning. MCN. Thank you, Rob. MCN. on
This
News
show
Stars.
is all about clean,
Yes,
baby.
you know what? We
27,
get an extra
25
$5,
years.
by the way, every time we mention
Cleaning
his
them
name.
ducks.
You said something interesting. You said that you had to drag yourself to the place or whatever. That you do the show, then you come off. So, you know, what I found, I mean, not to compare it to that, but like when I have like a tough day at the day job or whatever, and, you know, I have a boss that's complaining about the stupidest little thing, and then I'm like, you know, on that stage or whatever, and I'm performing, it's awesome. It's like I leave all that bullshit behind, and now I'm performing.
goes out the
and
window.
then people are
Yeah.
shaking your hand. They love the show, and you know we all.
But
walk the
that's
line.
yeah, but that's
And
more
that-
for us,
right? But
right?
what a difference, like to my day that makes, because I'm not, that number in the corporation. Now
Right.
I'm like doing, I'm
Right.
just like a D-list celebrity.
And then there were other nights like the show Pat had the other night where people, booing him and stuff.
Booing
it's-
him and
it's not
everything.
a
But
good
even
feeling.
when
But
you get
still,
booed, it's not
even
bad.
when you get booed, you're forgetting about that crappy meal. That
The
crappy meal you made
all
at
the people
assisted
that have
living that day.
all the people that have diarrhea.
You forget about the you forget.
At least,
forget
at
about
least you
those
know they were
people.
paying attention.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Rob.
Do we have any comments on the social media?
nobody's nothing.
The Facebook. If anybody would
nothing
like
on
to,
the
all
Facebook.
true viewers, no.
on the
no,
Facebook,
no.
if anybody would like to write in, even call it if you want. Ask.
No, don't
Karen,
call. Just
and-
type it.
Just
Type.
And we have a video,
Johnny's-
Bob.
what's that?
Oh, that would be
Oh
great.
yeah,
If you could
yeah.
put-
You want to show the
let-
video?
Show the video.
All right, yeah, we'll show the video.
A little
for-
taste of what it is we do.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Awesome.
I've been sober a long time. I've been sober 19 years. Yeah. Getting sober is hard. You gotta quit drinking. I grew up in a crazy house, My name's Cara Amore, and there was a lot of love for alcohol. Other people left cookies and milk for Santa. We left beer and pretzels. For Thanksgiving, we served a wild turkey. And every Arbor Day, my dad would drive a car into a tree. I don't know what we expected. My mother had turned the glove compartment into a wet bar. That woman could make rush hour happy hour. You're not liking any of this, right? How long you been sober? Yeah. Sorry. The reality is, this is all there is.
Recovery comedy. This is a good idea, right? Yeah. The bartenders thought they were going to have an easy job tonight. Oh, shit, sodas. They're working their asses off. 5 Diet Cokes, I want 3 shots of 7-Up. Takes some people longer to let go. One thing that always amazed me was guys that could shovel cocaine at dance clubs and hook up with women. No way, man. If that would I'd be in the men's room. All right. Let's go meet somebody. How you doing? Nice noticing you from across the room. You're really hot. You want to make out? I was not smooth on the drugs, folks.
And
Good job, guys. Good job.
And we fixed ducks.
Before I get back to just what I forget I did mention it before, October 19th is going to be the Laughter Saves Lives Almost Gala, it looks like. So far we have Jeff Norris and Maureen Langen on the show.
Awesome.
We're going to support a military charity for mental health this year. I'm looking to do a 1920s, 30s theme. I want to see Pat dressed up as a flapper. That's the whole idea.
We just went MMA.
John's going to dress up as a Brooklyn Dodger or something, right?
Put a
It's
zoot
going to be a
suit
fun
on.
night.
How much? What's the budget for costumes?
Whatever Party City's
We,
selling.
we had so much fun getting our costumes last year. We never laughed
You
so
look
hard.
like a Cuban dictator.
I know,
You
I
look
know. We
awesome.
did a World War
El
II thing
Presidente
last year.
La Rocchia.
But to go with him to buy the costume, we had more fun in that place, right? Did we not?
We tried everything on.
And his laugh is just contagious. The poor people that work there, I think they wanted to kick us out.
I had my costume already bought, and I said, John, I got a place. And he came in and he was trying everything on.
So
He looked
I
like
did-
Gomer Pyle.
Back to our guests. I just have a couple questions. Where did you guys perform those particular shows that we saw in the video?
Sometimes 12-step groups will get together and have like a big gathering or just a recovery group of some kind. That was one of those, where it was a nice big hall in a hotel. We do 12-step conventions, anniversaries, the rehabs and detoxes. Where every weekend we're at a rehab or a detox on Long Island and sometimes Staten Island. We've done it. I've done it in Florida. We've done it in Pennsylvania. So wherever you need us. The website is www.recoverthelaughter.com. And if you want to call us up and use us for what we do, the number is 917-715-8052. Just saying.
They say
I would love to support you guys in some way where we can get the. I mean, you get the word out enough. I'm sure what you do, but if we can get it out, even on a post once in a while, or
Yeah, when you're out there fixing a duct,
yeah.
see somebody looks a little hungover, say, hey, you know what?
If it's in a hospital.
alcohol, you know,
Needs some
alcohol,
recovery.
guys, at least you got a recovery and
Anybody
should
needs
laugh.
recovery, right?
That would be pretty good.
but relatable.
Let me talk about your family. Your addictions. Now, were you guys married when you had the issues with? Yours is with alcohol, right, Kara?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, it always started with alcohol,
Uh-huh.
like, the first drink, but then I was usually off to the races. My drug of choice was crack. really.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
at the end, I was using crack on a pretty regular basis, which is why, people always say to me, because I was 22 when I stopped using. So
3 years ago.
Exactly. And thanks, baby. I said to Rob, how do I look? He's like, tired. I'm like,
Thanks, Rob. That's what friends do.
Like I said
That's
to
what
Lori
friends
last
do.
week and she flipped out.
Yeah.
So-
Now, if you
You're not
walk,
with the cast of Ocean's 11 here. Don't worry.
but see, a friend can get away with that. If she walked in the door and she said to me, "How do you look?" and I said, "Tired." Boom. So go ahead.
yeah. But, because, I mean, alcohol obviously is also a drug. I mean, and it can take you to bad places. But drugs take you down faster. And they took me down pretty fast, But I've been using since I was 13, and it was quick, you know what I mean? I progressed from cocaine to crack, and once I started using crack, that was it. It was, people look at me in the rehabs though, and I'm like, who uses crack? Who loved crack? And they're like, you look like you drive a minivan.
I did.
Because when you look at me, but that's 27 years later. Like
Right.
if I still look the same way when I came in, they'd be like,
Right.
that recovery stuff doesn't really work.
But that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
It goes across, you look
Yeah.
like
Yes.
you're driving a minivan, but
Yes.
it has no prejudice.
It has
Right.
absolutely no prejudice, exactly. And that's when you walk into the rehabs and you see there are absolutely no socioeconomic dividers.
No.
Yeah.
Anybody could end up being an addict.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that's really what there should be no stigma.
And now
Right.
where I'm teaching, I'm teaching a lot with the Border Patrol, and their concern now is this fentanyl and all that stuff. You didn't have that back when you guys started. Nasty stuff. We're going to have a lot of people who are going to be lost with these powerful drugs. Can I ask your families, how did it affect your families?
Well, my mother used to sit by the, because I used to like to drink and drive. I mean, I don't obviously condone that, but my mother used to sit by the door praying that I would come home. Praying that I would come home in one piece. And there was a very long time when I didn't come home. I was homeless for a while. I had disappeared for a really long time. I mean, I know people talk about their families. My mother was not in a good place for a really long time, worried about where I was.
Yeah.
There were no cell phones 27 years ago.
Right,
You know,
right.
she would call around to try and figure out where I was. I made her very, very scared for a very long time, you know.
And I'm sure you think about that a lot.
I do. I think about what I
you
did
put
to
it through,
put
right?
her through, yeah. And I think about how wonderful, I have a very good child, you know, who doesn't put me through those types of things, and I thank God for that. You know what I mean? That I don't sit up nights worrying. You know, so I'm fortunate.
And I guess because of the addiction, when we could have the most wonderful parents in the world, and we all love our parents, and it just goes to show you that we don't want you didn't want to put your mother through that,
No.
but you were addicted.
I never even, while it was happening, I never
Right.
even thought about what the consequences were to my friends,
you just have
family. I didn't care about anybody or anything. All I cared about was my addiction.
Yeah.
And my next party. Well, I mean, it was a party to me.
Sure.
I didn't. There were, you know, the collateral damage. I didn't care about.
That's the powerful, you know, that's the brain,
Yep.
right? And it's that part of the brain, right? If you're really biologically speaking,
Yep.
that can just overshadow anything around you.
Absolutely.
You know,
It doesn't matter what kind of substance. I only drank and smoked pot and did cocaine and pills and hash and mushrooms. And
all right. Well, you were limited. You
So-
yeah.
What's left?
Crack wasn't around then.
Angel dust.
I had a list. I had a list here. You
You know,
you
Rob,
had
you didn't
triple.
discriminate, Rob. I like it. You know?
an equal opportunity drug addict.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But you know what? And I'm sure you talk about this on stage. What you did, the drugs you did, and you're an inspiration to those people to see where you've come from and what you're doing now. Not only functioning in life and doing your thing, but getting up there for them, standing in front of them and saying, "Hey, you can do it. Let me make you laugh a little bit tonight. Let's have some fun." But the underlying message is, you can do it.
And the sad part about it, and we'd both be very happy if we're just always empty.
Right.
That'd be great. But certain people have seen us over and over. We'll ask, you know, who's seen us before? And one time we showed up early. I showed up early to a gig. And
Right.
the guy walked in first. He was like, "You again?" I was like, "Oh man." He goes,
I get that all the time.
He goes, "I hope you got new material, dude." I was like, "You seen me before?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "A rehab?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I don't want to be too much of a dick, but which one of us do you really think needs new material?" And he laughed. He sat down. And he didn't remember the last time he saw me, so it was like a brand new show for him.
Right.
Oh, well, you know,
That's
that's
awesome.
it's a revolving door.
Do
you know?
do
I mean,
people ever ask you to counsel them after a show? Like they'll ask you for advice or how to get off and stuff like that?
And I guess
Men ask her all the time.
They want really awesome counseling. They ask me back to their rooms. They're like, "I'll get my teeth soon."
Because most people sometimes, you know, when you're hooked in there, you're going into these rehabs and stuff like that. You're just going in there because you get sentenced to that, and they're not going. But if maybe you inspire them, and they probably figure, you know what? How can I be like you? You know, so.
I'll tell you that there are people who, you know, because this, I mean, we don't just do comedy.
Right.
This is part of the service that we do as a part of our recovery.
Right.
And I mean, it is men with the men and women with the women, and we do make that distinction, and we do let them know that. I mean, because they do kid around and they're like, "Eric, we have your number." And I'm like,
Sure.
and we do say to them, you know, men with the men, women with the women. And there have been many women that I have given my number to who have called, and we have made a difference. And I know Rob has too. And we've
Excellent.
made a difference in
Now,
that.
I guess there's a fine line though between I used to do marriage encounters, all right. I'm not a therapist, and you guys are not therapists. So I guess there's a time where you have to say to somebody, "Listen, you can do it, but you need to get some help." Like it must be tough at times to draw that line. You want to give them advice, but you're also concerned that, are you giving them the best advice? No?
Well, the thing in recovery is this. Most people in there, most of them have been through it in some way already, and they're back and trying to get back up on their feet. And the way that recovery works with drugs and alcohol is you pass it on. This is what do you need, this is what I do.
Right,
This
right,
is what I
right.
do.
Okay.
Because it's still not 100% accepted as a disease or something that people can't get control over unless they go to somebody and find out what to do for themselves. So it really is, therapy can be something people need in addition to the things that we do to stay clean and sober. But we've got, over 50 years of experience between us. And I feel so much better about myself.
Imagine this is what you need.
Yeah. People ask us all the time, "You guys married?" We're like, "No, we like each other too much."
We don't want to ruin a good
we have
thing.
the experience to be able to, if somebody does ask, and we get from them too. We get from them as much as they're getting
Because you
from us.
understand.
Well, that's
You understand.
Yeah,
they like that you understand where they've
That's
been,
perfect.
where
You
they
could
can
bring another comic
go.
in there. Like another comic that wasn't addicted, you could
can't relate. You know, they can't relate.
There's
you know.
there's also boundaries.
Mhm.
We understand.
Right.
As somebody who's not in recovery might, for instance, one time somewhere at some point, some guy was on a show in a rehab, and kind of like was a little bit inappropriate with a woman. You really don't know what these women have been through.
Right.
And so that was like, oh, that's what happens when you don't use us.
Right.
You know,
That's why
so-
you guys are perfect, because you can relate and you know exactly what to say and not really what
And what not to
different.
say,
Yeah,
and
not
what
what
not
to
to
say.
say,
Yeah.
And plus, people take it different. They know 5 minutes after I'm up on stage, or 5 minutes after she's up on stage, they know we're
Right.
one of them.
Right.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, because that's the.
Do
big
they know that ahead
struggle.
of time? At times?
No, until we go in there. Well, you know, she'll announce it during her set, and then when I get up, I say, I usually just say, "How you doing? I'm feeling really good. I dropped a lot of weight," and they clap, and I say, "Well, I'm back on the cocaine," and they laugh, and then I say, "No, I'm clean and sober 25 years," and so they do know.
I thought maybe you did some events where ahead of time they have a program. Hey,
Oh,
their
sure.
entertainment is,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
They'll know. They'll know.
Yeah.
We only on the website it also explains that we only employ people in recovery for that reason.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you something inappropriate. Probably, I was going to ask you what other comics you use, but I guess that's not appropriate because
It's up to
maybe they
them.
don't want to, you know, be known that they had an addiction. Is there anybody that?
John, you're not getting on this show. Why? Because you had.
Who books
I
that?
need work. You're not.
I need work.
Don't start trying to push it like, well, you know.
I was addicted to ravioli.
Back in the
bro.
'80s, I had 16 hot dogs in a Mets game.
But everybody here, right here, understands what you guys are talking about. But for anybody that's listening or watching right now, comedians are kind of a rare breed. It's like there's raw meat on the table. We want a piece. I don't care what it takes. Because people say to me like, well, you know, if I understand you only use people that are in recovery, they're only people that drink. I get that. But if you ever get stuck,
I think I actually did. I don't think I did one of your
think it would
shows.
be a tough room.
But I think I did do a show in a. I don't
rehab.
know who hired me. I don't remember who it was.
I did a few of
wasn't
them
getting
too,
at
yeah.
that for work for myself, you bastards. What I was getting at was, I just wanted to plug some other Long Island comics who were doing good work. That's what I was trying to get at.
Absolutely.
So, are there any other comics that you think would mind that you say their names here that work for you guys that you know are known as recovering? I just thought I'd give them a plug. That's all.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's really up to them.
Okay,
I
I
would
agree.
say-
I agree. That's why I said it might be an
What's
inappropriate
the,
question.
like the biggest thing in comedy, right? Let's say is relatability, right? That's
Yes.
a huge factor in comedy, you know,
Yes.
in recovery show, but outside, of, let's say, recovery shows. But that relatability factor is magnified with you guys because you have been where the people, a lot of people that come to see you have been.
Yeah, because you-
so you have that built in, which is great, you know, and they're gonna be receptive because you understand and they understand you, and that's built in right away, which is great.
And we've made friends with people where there's a couple of 12-step programs that we've done a lot of work for, like in Philly and Jersey and New York, like the same core group of people that have events where new people are constantly coming in because of that.
Right.
They hire us because they know
Right.
we talk about things in a specific way that a comic who's not an addict. Because comics talk about being drunk or being high
Right,
or
that's
being
different.
lost.
Yeah,
but we can get dig in there deep and go,
Yeah.
this is what was horrible about it, but
Mm-hmm.
isn't it funny now that we're not doing it? You know.
No, it's good.
I did
It's really
a few of these shows, not for you guys, but for other people, and
Yeah, Weight
it was
Watchers.
No, it wasn't Weight Watchers.
The guy who's smoking.
It was very.
Pat was on the show. That's why he's saying it.
It was
Remember?
mostly
guy who's just getting off fentanyl
It was
doesn't
mostly
want to hear an
alcohol,
Arnold
not-
Schwarzenegger
not the other
impression.
stuff. And they were great. It was such a nice feeling to know that you made them laugh.
Excuse
Because
me,
they
you
were.
missed
It was a
that,
dry
Jim.
show.
No, I'm just
Oh no, I
saying.
ignored it.
Did you
What,
hear
I heard
that?
it.
Say it again.
They relate to them.
I heard
A
it.
guy who's just, 10 days off of maybe a fentanyl or something doesn't want to hear, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or,
I told the housekeeper.
Yeah.
It's not the truth. They loved it.
He's like, I
They
kicked
were-
this stuff to hear this. What are you, nuts? But,
I shoot
We
3
will
bags
always
a
love
day.
you.
The guy's name was
I'm
Dylan.
just
I
kidding,
said,
buddy.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Hold on, one. Bobby, give me a signal. I'm assuming we're going till 5-2 now because we have a show that follows us. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
thank
true.
you. Let's do your piece, Steve.
Real quick.
Yeah, let's do
Real quick.
Yeah.
We don't-
A quickie that I wanted to throw and I didn't bring up front. I brought my dad to that Air and Space Museum over by the airport.
yes.
Not Air and Space.
The American Air Power Museum
The
at
American Air-
Farmingdale
It's got a
Airport.
warthog there, an A10.
First time. Oh, here's the
Got an
class.
A10 there, right?
Here's the class I taught the other
love
day
Yeah.
with the Hamilton and the New Jersey
Yeah,
Transit
man.
Police. They had great students, great class, protecting New Jersey there. They were wonderful students. We had a great time.
They had a great teacher.
And we're bringing a show down there.
What are those? What are those guys in the yellow? Are they eating Pat's lunch at the assisted living? Pat just cooked for some people.
So what
What's
happened
going
at
on
the
there?
airport? Which
I
one
brought
did you
my
go
dad
to?
for the first
But
time.
which one did you go to? The one at Republic Airport?
Yeah, it was really cool.
And he never was there before?
He was never there.
That's awesome.
He was never.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have gone with you.
You know what? To watch, well, he was in World War II, he's ready. But to watch a vet of that age
Sure.
walk through a place
Yeah.
like that, and I can't wait till my grandson's old enough to show him what heroes these guys were. I was looking at the gunner in that
In the pod
plane.
on the bottom,
He's
yeah.
sitting here on the nose, the gunner.
Yeah.
The pilot's up
Oh,
here,
yeah,
and he's
Yeah.
And vulnerable.
Amazing what
the
these
guy,
guys
There's
did.
another guy underneath that's totally vulnerable.
Yeah,
What they call
amazing.
that? What they call that guy?
It
underneath?
really is.
The gunner.
The gunner.
The gunner.
Underneath was a gunner.
There's a
Oh,
gunner and,
underneath?
and then the
Bombay.
bombardier was there.
Bombardier.
Right.
Bombardier.
And that
the
was one of the guys
bombardier
that we
used-
honored last year.
The bombardier had to fly the airplane so that he could make a minor
I actually
adjustment.
hosted a
and
show
put the
last
bomb
week. They
right
called
on.
me the
Right
bombardier.
where it needed to go.
she knows
That's
stuff.
right.
But
Yeah,
I-
no,
On a
it's
sadder
really-
note, that one of the people from the airport where
Yes.
went down at
Yeah, the guy
Melville.
goes skydiving.
From the air show, yeah.
The air show, yeah.
And Alan Bean died this week. Fourth man to walk on the moon. I met him in 2003. Nice guy. He passed away.
You just posted that?
I just posted that last week. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I follow you.
Did he
You know,
own the
I
Belmore
know
Bean?
everything you
No,
say.
he did not own the Belmore Bean. And my wife, I cannot find his
Did he own
business
the
card.
Belmore
He owned the
He
Belmore
painted
Bean.
all three of them
Come
on the
on.
moon.
Yes.
Because only two go to the moon service. They were all best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dick Gordon, Pete Conrad, and Al Bean. And my wife said, "Oh, I think I threw that away." So my wife and I are probably going to be
Not
divorced.
All right, listen, important now.
I
all
walked
right?
on
How
the
could you throw
moon.
away an
Steve
astronaut's business
Oliva.
card?
I walked on the moon.
Oh, yeah,
and my
what's your
dream was to
report?
open a small, nondescript coffee shop in Belmore.
Steve
Come
Oliva.
on, man.
Paul
Have some
Paul
respect. He just
Farmer.
died.
Laughed to save his wives too, and then he wrote, "Way to be a bummer, Pat."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I just wrote LOL.
Yeah.
Listen, we got 4 minutes. Steve Oliva's done some research on
Deliver
the
your
big,
report, Steve.
the big
Chime
summit,
in, everybody, if you
North
want.
Korea.
Real quick. The big summit
Very
in
knowledgeable.
Singapore.
Very
Kara
knowledgeable.
and Rob.
Yeah.
Matt, the big summit in Singapore between Donald Trump and
North Korea.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
That is going to be held in Singapore.
Yes.
And guess who's going to show up? His rep said he will be there, quote unquote, only if his expertise is needed.
Yes.
Dennis Rodman.
We need him. We
He's
need
coming.
him there.
He's coming back. He's going to be there.
Dennis Rodman.
He's bringing.
I'm
he's
performing
bringing
there.
Gary Busey with him too, isn't he?
Well, Gary Busey is. Gary Busey and Dennis Rodman.
And
That would be
Meatloaf.
awesome.
First of all,
I've met Meatloaf.
did I.
He's awesome.
First of
I
all,
love
Gary
him.
Busey is very
He's-
smart. He knew the ex-surfers were bank robbers in Point Break, okay?
Listen, they're having it.
He knew the bank
Sure.
robbers were surfers.
Good. Continue, Steve. Continue.
Well,
I love you.
He did a lot of research here.
With you.
no, listen. This is that
Alone.
circus
Yes.
is getting more interesting because
Where did you get this fake news?
I
No,
you know
this
where I
is
got it?
news.
Seriously, in the New York,
CNN.
This is from our international desk, Steve Oliva.
Listen, real
New York
news.
Post and Twitter, where I get all my news.
In the NBA.
Dennis Rodman and a parade of 1990s porn stars.
Yes.
All gonna
So
be-
now the question is, who
well,
else is
there's
going to be
porn
there?
involved.
Well, Rodman,
Rodman wants to bring a basketball team. to North
Melania
Korea
may
right
be
now.
there. They might go 2-on-2.
Melania may be there, but you will not see a Dennis Rodman will be boxing her out. You will not see
Yeah,
her
and if
face.
she scores a point, you wouldn't know
Yes.
really if she's happy.
Are they
or
going on
not.
Air Malaysia?
Apparently, Rodman,
Malaysia.
he's branched out from modeling wedding dresses to nuclear disarmament. So
my goodness.
Dennis is going to be there. The summit is being held in some kind of resort, which has
Golf?
an amusement park.
At $6,000 a night.
It's got an
stay.
amusement park because you want to secure nuclear disarmament on the log flume, you know, because
That'd be a great photo
Yeah,
coming
between
down.
that and a game of
Kim and
horse.
Flash, Trump and
Melania,
Kim Jong
Dennis
Un.
Rodman.
With the picture, they,
And,
That picture.
they charge you
Because if Melania's
$15.
going to be there, you need a spa.
you
Yes.
do when they have a hotel, and I'm sure there's going to have a spa.
It's $6
Going to
grand
get
a
a
night.
few
That
facials
place.
while her husband and the little fellow from North Korea actually.
Little fella.
Don't say little phone. You're gonna freaking derail the whole thing.
You know how many
Oh,
views we
he's
have?
Rocket
listen,
Man,
I'm
the Rocket
5'8". I'm a
Man.
little
Call
fellow.
him Rocket
I'm a
Man.
little-
That's better than
They don't
I'm
have-
a little fellow too. We're
They
both
don't
the
have the
same
internet,
size.
right?
It
No,
said
but Kim Jong Un does. He's the
Rodman is
dictator.
going to be there to be I guess a sports. He wants to be he also said a sports ambassador because North Korea is, as we all know, a sporting powerhouse. After medaling in ribbon twirling and Korean barbecue at last Olympics. So
Now you have
that's the story.
That's the whole thing? You know,
That's
let me see on the next page. You
Wait
got
a minute.
nothing?
Wait a minute.
No?
I got
Hold on.
I got
Let
a
him
great
deliver
one.
his
I got a
report.
great one for Paul Bob.
Go.
This segment is called "Aliva or Not," and then he said,
I like it.
"Hard to believe, Steve."
We got to get Paul Bond on more shows.
I'm
Paul
trying
Bond, by the way, is going to be back
Listen.
to co-host in a few weeks. We were talking on the way
Awesome.
here.
Put me on
Listen.
that show. I
Yes.
like working
I
with
would
talent.
No, he's bouncing you.
I would like Matt
Bouncing
to
me?
take his duct
Yes.
cleaning
You said you wanted him.
and suck up this bomb right into his
But I want to
van.
work with the talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is it called now? Bond said, Aliva, Believer, Aliva?
That's actually, thank you.
I like Aliva or Not.
Aliva or not? I like it.
And we could
Aliva
get
or
the
Not.
theme song from Greatest American
Hard to
Hero
Believe,
redone.
Steve.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Laughter Saves Lives Lives. We're heading over to the Massapequa Diner.
Thank you,
Thanks
Karen,
to you,
Karen,
Doug.
Rob,
To get our
our
ducks
guests,
clean.
and Matt.
Thank you to our
And
guests.
duck cleaning.
Karen, Rob, and Matt.
Thank the guests.
Protect your duck.
Mets are losing 2-1.
Cover the laughter.
Good job. Good job.
We're working the stands.
You know that one off.
Pink cotton candy. Love on a stick. Chasing the beer. The trick of the lips play ball.